Hello everyone and welcome back to No Man's Land. What I've done in between episodes is make a little field up here, and I've also, this morning, weeded this field. So this field is now ready to have some fertiliser applied, and for that we're going to need the little John Deere. Luckily he has the power for what I want him to do, which is very, very handy. So let's just get that out of the way. Let's go and buy a sprayer. Of course we're not very flush, so we're going to have to use something that isn't fertiliser. Luckily we have something. Ooh, what could it be? Yes, so I said last time I'd go through Mod Hub and find what was available, and I have done that. So, we've got this guy down here. We've got two, basically. There's this one, which I kind of like because it just hooks onto the back and makes us a bit more nimble. But it's only 600 litres and 12 metres and 6,000 euros. Whereas this is 1,000 litres, 14 metres and 5,500. I don't see how I could pass up the opportunity, really. Let's go for something interesting. That, yeah, and design. Ooh, that looks a bit horrible. That looks alright. So, wheel setup standard or narrow or wide? Let's go with narrow. This is an old machine, so I think we can justify getting a second hand. Wheel brand is Lizard or Trelleborg. Trelleborg, I assume, has got just wides. Okay, so we want to go with the Lizard so we can get the narrows. Let's buy that bad boy. And now, for filling it, we have got in here some compost tea. That's one that can be reused. We don't need that, so we could just use this. That's 2,000 litres, so that's going to fill this guy twice. I have absolutely no idea how much he will actually need, so I think twice is good enough. I have also cleaned my pedals, which means I don't have to keep making the same mistake all the time, which is hitting the clutch pedal and realising that isn't my brake. That is something I was doing a lot on previous recordings. Now I'm just going to quickly repair this guy, because he is actually going to be a working tool. You can sometimes get away with not repairing them, but it depends on what type of tool they are. In this case, he is actually something that needs to work. It's good. But just look at the size difference between these machines. They look ridiculous next to each other. So, repair for 44. Smashing! Now let's get over here. The reason I've got to use the John Deere is because that crop is established already. So, if I use the case, it will destroy it. Oh, and the field just changed as I was driving to it. Alright. Well, let's get them folded. Now, just before we do this, I now need, unfortunately, because we're going to use herbicide, fertiliser, I need to get rid of the thing, wherever it's gone. Where is it hiding? Here. This government subsidy. It needs to go. We do not get subsidised anymore, unfortunately. Right, can I lift this guy up? That's just him. No, so I can't actually lift the sprayer up. Alright, that's fine. So, let's get into a decent position. And... oh no, we're still crushing. I thought the John Deere would not. Okay, well, it's worth a little bit of crushing, I suppose. I thought the John Deere had narrow tyres. This is a little bit odd. And it's not the John Deere that's crushing, actually. It's the one behind. Okay. Well. The fertiliser should at least make up for what we're destroying. We're not destroying that much, really. Does mean, however, I need to be a bit more careful about how I plan my journey around the field, because I do not want to be driving in the field unnecessarily. This is something that's always quite tricky. But I am pleased that we are finally putting fertiliser down. This is just going to give us such a massive boost to the income. Especially because we're going to make maize silage again with this. That's why we bought the lovely forage harvester. We're doing quite well actually with like old second-hand equipment. ModHub has been kind, I must say. I was very worried that we'd have to buy everything new, in which case this would just be so slow and impossible. But we're doing alright. Now obviously I need to make a bit of an apology for the last few weeks. I couldn't say anything in the last video because I'd already recorded it long before. I had massive internet issues for weeks. Every time I tried to upload, it would get to about 10-20% and then it would just start over again. I was struggling to work because I was working at home for a lot. It was just awful, to be honest. But it all seems to be stable. At least it was until I arrived home today. But I'm hoping that can be fixed. Hoping that's just a blip. Now, I am noticing that we have not made it once around the field yet, and we've already used almost 50%. So we're looking at quite a large amount of compost tea that's required, but at least compost tea is far cheaper than fertiliser. For 2,000 litres it was 2,500 euros, whereas for 2,000 litres of this it was only 250 euros. I would call that a bargain, to be honest. Now, I'm going to put cruise control on because annoyingly I fixed my pedals, but I could only fix the clutch. When I did the accelerator a couple of months ago, I caused a bit of damage to one of the parts that you have to take off. And I tried to get it off, but I was causing more damage, so I had to stop. And I'll just have to, buy the right tool to actually do the job. I'm usually quite good at making sure I have the right tools. Anyway, I'm going to continue with this, and I think we're going to do it as a time lapse. So let me just get rid of this guy here. No, this one here. There we go. And yeah, let's get this field fertilised.
It's silent now, we don't say a word. We're just looking at each other. Tears in our eyes from the words we said. Yeah, it kinda broke my heart. Loving you is not so goddamn easy as you think. I'm trying my best to hold on, but I feel myself giving. You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my part. I'm hurting you as well. I guess that we should say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. I guess that we should say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. Say we're sorry. We pick up the pieces and start again. Don't give up, we're holding on. For what it's worth, I'll try to change. We can't fix our broken hearts. Loving me is not so goddamn easy as I think. You try your best to hold up, but I see you giving in. You know that we shouldn't keep it up like this. We hurt each other's feelings on and on. I don't wanna change who you are. The things you say is always one step too far. But I know that I've played my
There we go! So, field is done. Now I've just got to try and make my way out of this maze without causing too much damage. Yeah. We'll have a check of the map in a second, but we're pretty well fertilised now. I think I'm just going to take the hit and kind of drive straight out. And because I'm not going to be planting grass up here, I think we may as well go and put some fertiliser down up here. However, I'm now going to switch the time down to 5. So yeah, I think I'm kind of tempted to do wheat. It's a very small field, so maybe a bit of wheat would be good. I could also do whole crop silage if I was to buy a header for the forage harvester. That would be quite cool. A bit of whole crop silage. So I'm not really sure. Now I did not realise I had done that actually. So that means we need to park you by here and switch you off. Let's grab this guy. Yes. So obviously we have a bit of a financial issue now because we are no longer getting money daily from the government grant. We're still getting it from the bees, which is a bonus, but we're not getting it from the government grant. That is not great. There was something I wanted to build, but we need a bit more money for that. Luckily, we have all of this maize that's going to be turned into maize silage, and we have a fair bit of milk, I think. Let's just have a quick check as well. So we've now got one dark blue, one light blue. That's not bad. And because this bit at the top was grass, it will obviously, it's kind of been fertilised already. This one here, we need to buy a new tool to be able to fertilise it, but we're a bit low on cash. So cows, that was what we're going to look at. 3146. So we've almost got enough for a full trailer. By the end of the episode, we probably will do, which is good because the next episode is when we need to pay the loan. We're getting there with the loan. Getting there. Right. Let's drop this guy. Just double check actually. He's not on create fields. Good. So drop him down. And we can get this cultivated. Shouldn't take too long because it's not exactly an enormous field. That's the pile of trees over there from where I did the cutting and everything. Yeah, I did the grass in the last episode, didn't I? I couldn't remember if I did the grass in the last episode or if I did it in the live stream. In the live stream, we just used some enormous tools to do some grass work. Yeah. Right. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? I think we will do a little jump cut here, and I'll see you when the field is done. Okay, so the field is now done, but what I remembered is that okay, so the field is now done, but what I remembered is that actually cultivating oilseed radish gives you a second application. However, mainly because I just like using this sprayer, I'm going to spray the field anyway. It doesn't actually need it in most places. It's just this is going to just kind of fill in those patches, but yeah, really not a necessary application at all. But it's something interesting to do. We may as well make the most of the fact that we have this awesome new sprayer. I'm kind of loving the fact that I can finally spray things again. It's been hard work doing oilseed radish cultivation all the time. So let's start. We're going to notice patches in the field, of course, as well. But it's alright. Still using a fair amount anyway. It's going to be quite difficult to tell where I've been and where I haven't. I'm going to have to use my own tyre tracks to work out where I've been, I think. this is probably a really silly idea, possibly bordering on stupid, but there we go. Don't say I don't do silly things. So, back down, while we just put him on cruise control for a moment so we can have a look. Yeah, so you can see he is just filling in those gaps, not really doing much, but it's okay. At least it means the field is completely prepared and we can put in the next crop, which I think is going to be wheat. I think we're going to do some whole crop silage. So we'll put some wheat in that we can do whole crop with, because we don't need straw. The cows don't want straw, they want straw pellets, and I'm not building a pellet factory, and we don't have enough horsepower in our tractors to actually run the kind of the pellet baler. So yeah, we're not using pellets. So that means we don't need straw at all, and we're going to be sticking with slurry. That is the field pretty much completely done. We've just got one, maybe 2 lines left to do. I think I'm going to stick with not using herbicide, at least for now, because we've got the weeder, which this guy can run, so that kind of, I don't need to worry about needing 2 tractors because this one is powerful enough to do it. And if I avoid using herbicide, then everything is still technically organic. So I think that's a much more sensible thing to do, he says, while wasting a lot of compost tea fertilising a field that was pretty much perfectly fertilised. But yes, if I avoid using herbicide, then everything is still organic, which is good because it means when I give things to the cows, for example, I don't have to worry, because if the cow's milk stops becoming organic, we don't get the boosted price from the bakery. So I think it's good if we can keep it organic. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have to do a quick bit of transferring, because we're going to sell some milk and we're going to finish the episode with some money, because I don't think there's anything else to do today, to be honest. So I will get this guy back over to the new area. You probably noticed I tidied things up a little bit. It was getting quite tricky to do planting and stuff like that in that field with so many pieces of machinery next to the field, so I moved it all. I'm not going to put any compost tea on the grass field for now, because I do want to get that new tool. Maybe next episode we can get that. I'll show you it. It comes with Maize Plus, and it's basically, it's in the subsoiler category, a grassland subsoiler. So it resets the ploughing state and adds 1 fertilizer state, and it does that without ripping up the grass, I believe. So that is very good, because it means we still have our grass, but it gets fertilized and we remove that ploughing requirement. And I think that's very useful for us. So, like I said, quick bit of changeover, and then we'll sell the milk. Okay, let's fill up. We've got 3261. So that's going to fill this guy completely. And obviously lovely and perfectly fertilised now. Cows are doing very well still. 17,000 litres of slurry. Need to top up the water. I think I say that every single episode and I don't do it, but I will. So let's go and sell this milk. Here we are then. Let's sell it. Oh, it's noisy here. I love selling milk here. We get so much money, it's ridiculous. I love it. Perfect. So that gives us enough to sell off, to pay off our loan tomorrow. Ooh, we were so close there to crashing. Yep, so we can pay off the loan tomorrow, and we can also buy the grassland subsoiler, which is very, very good news. In terms of other things, I will get the large field cultivated off camera. I will also plant that field with wheat. I don't know what to put in the top field, to be honest. We should go for something nice and high profit, like what's it called? Canola or soybeans. We do those quite a lot. I suppose we could go for some oats, because we're not interested in straw. So maybe oats would be better. We get less oats per acre than we do with wheat and barley, but it's worth more. And yeah, oats gives less straw. And as we're not interested in the straw, all we're doing is selling it. It's not such a bad thing. Less picking up to do. I'm just trying to back this in. Not doing a very good job. Carrots need a clean. I'm going to do that now. So yes, I will get a couple of things done off camera. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.